revision for Pythagoras and trigonometry. We're going to be going through the main concepts of Pythagoras and trigonometry. We're not going to cover everything. It's just the skills that are very, very important to know, and then you sort of build on those skills with some other questions. So you can think of these as the foundational skills you need to get through Pythagoras and trigonometry. We're going to start off with Pythagoras first. So Pythagoras, go. We're looking at finding sides for RATs. Now this stands for right angled triangles. Okay, so whenever I say the word rat, I mean that. Okay, now there's two flavors that we typically use the Pythagoras equation for. We can either find, and I'll just show the three equations. So it firstly comes from, I'll just start off with this, our rule, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. And then we can break apart this rule using algebra to make three rules. So if you want to find c, use this one. If you want to find b, use this rule. And if you want to find c, we use this rule. Sorry, I meant a. A, we use this rule. Now this, very handy for the notes. What we're going to do now is we're going to use these rules to help us solve some triangles. So to start off, we're going to be finding the hypotenuse. Now the hypotenuse is the longest side, which is opposite the right angle. Okay, so here we go. Let's draw out some triangles. We've got this one here. And then I've got a your turn over here, which you can have a crack at. There we go. So with this one here, our first step is to label. And then second step, use rule. Third step, solve. And remember, 2DP. So let's go through this. First step is to label. Well, let's label this side C. We know this is C, the hypotenuse, because it's opposite the right angle. Next one, we can label, we have A and B left. It doesn't matter what I call each other side. So the shorter sides are known as A and B. Okay, so we're going to add that to the notes here. C, that's what we call the hypotenuse. And we can say that the shorter sides are A and B. So now we've labeled our triangle, we can now solve. So here we go. I need to solve for C. So I'm going to use this rule up here. Let's sub in. A is now 4 squared plus B is now 6 squared. Now we need to plug this into our calculator. 4 squared plus 6 squared. And we can see the answer over here is 7.211. And I'm going to write it out just to practice our rounding. 21111. Oh, sorry, 2111. Now we want to round to 2 decimal places. So we want to round to 2 decimal places. Now we can see that this 1 here isn't going to round up this 1 here. Therefore, we're just going to keep it at 7.21 millimeters. And there we go, there's our answer. Okay, so what I want you to do, have a go at your turn to the right, and then see if you got the answer right by pressing play. We're going to go through the answers now, so let's have a look. This here is C, this one's A, or you could write B, and this one is B, or you could write A. Now we want to solve for C, so we're going to use our rule. C is equal to square root A squared plus B squared. We sub in 3 squared plus 2 squared, and then we put in our calculator. And we get 3.60555. Put a line here. We can see that this 5 is going to round up this 0 here to a 1. So our final answer, 3.61. What's our units? Meters. So now we've found out that the hypotenuse length is 3.61 meters. Okay, and much the same over here, we found that the length over here is 7.21 millimeters. And that's what Pythagoras does. Now in the next part of this, we're going to look at situations where you're going to find the shorter sides. So here we go. Let's try that line again. So the rules that we want to use here is either A is equal to C squared minus B squared, or B is equal to C squared minus A squared. So when you're finding shorter sides, do you remember shorter sides were either A or B? That's the letters we use, and C was the hypotenuse, or the longer side. So let's draw some triangles now. I'm going to have one that we're going to practice on and one that you can have a go at. Okay, so let's have a crack at the one on the left. So we can see that we need to start off by labeling, like we did before, C, A, and B. The next step is, what are we trying to find? So if we're trying to find our A, we use that equation here. If we're trying to find B, we use this equation here. So which one are we trying to find? Well, we're trying to find X, which is our B. So we're going to use that second equation. Let's write it out. B is equal to square root of C squared minus A squared. And then we sub in C is 10, so 10 squared minus 8 squared. Put that into our rule. And out pops a clean 6. Now you can put 6.00 if you wish, or you can just write 6. There's our answer. So have a go at the one on your right, pause the video, and then press play when you're ready. So we're going to go through the answers now. First thing, we label our triangles. This is our C, it's opposite the right angle. This one can be our, let's call that our B, just to practice. And let's call this one our A, just use the other formula. Now we can see here that we're trying to find A, so we're going to use this formula over here. A is equal to C squared minus B squared. C is going to be 6 squared minus 4 squared, and we put into our calculator. .472, so that goes to 4.47, add your units, centimeters as well. Alright, so this is our video there on using Pythagoras. In the next videos, we're going to be looking at trigonometry. Thank you.